Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the mayor of Somerset is asking state lawmakers to take a closer look at addiction recovery programs committing fraud. And a local VFW hosted a stand-down event to provide much-needed resources to at-risk veterans.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We are making our way to 6 o'clock this morning on September 5th, 2024. Let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast.
Good morning, Madison. Good morning, everyone. 54 low clouds and fog outside our door, and some of us have kind of the same look this morning as you leave Hazard and head down toward the Tennessee state line into the Cumberland Valley. The rest of us, though, sparkling with tens on the board when it comes to visibility. Temperature-wise, all right, no pretty colors, right? Yeah, got a communication issue between the weather computer and our vendor right now. We'll get it resolved after 7 a.m. But we're at 54 here in Hazard, 61 Jackson, 60 down your way at Harlan. And temps for the most part minus Pikeville, or check that as you make your way over toward Norton and Wise. Grundy checking in the upper 40s. Satellite weather composite, yes, there are some high clouds down across portions of southeastern Kentucky into northwestern portions of North Carolina and Virginia. And that departing system means high pressure is building in for all of us for the afternoon with nothing but sunshine, easy for me to say, and a seasonable high. Should be about 82. We're forecasting 84. More about the ARH First Alert 7-day forecast with a fall-like theme coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Madison.
All right, Tim, thank you. Somerset Mayor Alan Keck is asking state leaders to reinstall regulations in the addiction recovery system. Keck sent a letter to state leaders asking for increased guardrails preventing fraud and abuse. Keck says Medicaid is the main provider, and with lifted regulations, the system has become a free-for-all.
So that's why we've seen the explosion of these facilities all across Kentucky. And, you know, we've become a recovery hub. And I think there's some that maybe take pride in that, but what I want is I want to treat the people that live here, that work here, you know, our friends and family.
Keck says he looks for pre-authorization to be re-established. He says that it was lifted during the COVID-19 pandemic. U.S. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell visited Madison County yesterday, addressing the Richmond Chamber of Commerce. McConnell highlighted the importance of staying involved in Ukraine, criticized the Biden administration's withdrawal from Afghanistan, and discussed concerns about defense spending and inflation. McConnell also weighed in on the election, suggesting the Democratic nominee will be closely tied to the current administration's record.
Now, I think what the Democratic nominee is going to be is to argue that she's the future and the Republican nominee is the past. The problem with that argument, it seems to me, is the Democratic nominee is stuck with the record of this administration.
McConnell also shared insights on infrastructure projects in Kentucky and his new book. Attorney General Russell Coleman is giving some guidance to prosecutors and law enforcement on illegal grade gambling machines. Attorney General Coleman cited the General Assembly's 2023 ban on such devices, a ban that was tested and upheld in court in June. He emphasizes law enforcement is authorized to investigate and prosecute any violations of Kentucky's gambling laws. Shaping Our Appalachian Region, or SOAR, will host its 10th SOAR Summit starting October 16th in Pikeville. Executive Director Colby Hall says this year they are introducing new things while maintaining what is already important. He says they will be adding an app to help people get more out of the summit.
It's a big swath of territory, a lot of different communities and counties and cities in Eastern Kentucky. And this is really the one event out of the year that focuses on bringing everybody under one roof.
To register for the summit, you can head to this story on our website. Governor Beshear announced yesterday close to $1.7 million will go to 16 communities. One of those communities benefiting is in our area. The city of Jackson will receive more than $172,000 for a project. The funding will be used to plant trees, hire foresters, and increase public awareness on the benefits of urban forestry. Officials say the benefits include improving the health and well-being of people across the state. Speaking of Governor Beshear, he will host a Team Kentucky briefing today. Some of the topics Governor Beshear will address are economic development as well as infrastructure developments and the state's response to natural disasters and severe weather. There will also be an update about the medical cannabis program. The Kentucky Community and Technical College System says more than 85,000 students have enrolled for the fall semester. Overall, that's nearly an 8.5% increase from last year, which sets a 10-year record. KCTCS says they have also seen growth in underrepresented minorities, non-traditional students, and students in programs aligning with Kentucky's targeted industries for the future. One city in Laurel County is receiving emergency road aid funds. The City of London will receive more than $48,000 for drain structure repairs on West 4th Street. Transportation Secretary Jim Gray says the cabinet is happy to approve the request for funding the city.
Good Thursday morning to you, about 6:05 as we get ready to look ahead to the weekend. Let's get you through a Thursday. High pressure is right on top of us, going to be shifting slowly to the east. So somewhat of a return flow today, and we're going to not only get into the sunshine, but be a bit warmer and will be a bit humid in spots as well. Dealing with some low clouds and fog issues as you leave Hazard, get into through the Cumberland Valley right now. Outside our door, it's 54. We'll warm up a couple of degrees as we hit through the next hour to about 90 minutes. 77 during the course of the lunch hour, filled with sunshine and lots of blue sky. We top out this afternoon up to 84 here in Hazard. So needless to say, outdoor practices, football, soccer, even indoors with the volleyball, make sure you hydrate. It's going to be one of those warm early September afternoons. Back to feeling like fall, but when? Your ARH First Alert 7-day forecast in moments. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. One Floyd County VFW spent the day honoring heroes through a veteran stand down event. WYMT's Buddy Forbes was there.
A group of organizations standing together to help veterans stand down.
And it's about coming back and connecting with other veterans. You can walk around, you can hear all kinds of great stories. Veterans just spending time with each other, and just that time can be therapeutic.
Prestonsburg VFW Post 5839 hosted a veterans stand down, providing those who served with resources for health care, housing, and more.
We've seen veterans that we've connected with at stand down events that were homeless, that have gone through programs and became homeowners.
Post Commander Danny Shepard says the mission fits with the post's efforts to combat veteran homelessness.
We've had a couple success stories here, that we've housed for a couple months, and they went out and we got them resources, and they, got what they needed, and they moved out and let the room open for the next veteran to come in.
He says bringing so many partners to the table, from free healthcare screenings to veteran crisis care, helps veterans know they are never alone.
There is, a problem in the veterans, with suicide. We have, I think the last number was 22 a day. And, that's just it should be zero.
As they work to keep the information in the hands of the veterans and families who need it.
People say, how can I contribute? And sharing these resources helps get that information out there.
Trying to give back to those who gave so much. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Organizers say one good way to support the mission is by supporting your local VFW and DAV chapters to keep the events rolling. Well, thanks for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. When we return, the 2024 election cycle heats up to a new degree as accusations fly at other countries for reported interference.